Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I listen to different things in the morning time, pretty much throughout the day. They say you are what you eat. So I try to be careful at what I put in my head, especially when I go to bed and when I get up in the morning, because some things that's in the natural is in the spiritual as well. I mean, I would hope that you wouldn't have a great big meal just before you go to bed. It's going to leave weight on you. So I try not to put a bunch of heavy stuff on my mind just before I go to bed. My heaviest meal, my best meal is going to be in the morning. I got all day to work it back off. So I try to put something on my mind. So I'm going to try to give you something that might be a little heavy as I'm on my way to get me some breakfast, get my system together. But listen, check this out. I was listening to some things, and what came to my mind, and I put it to caption, smoke free. Now, I know somebody mind gonna go straight to some trees, but if you know me, I ain't never done trees. That's a joke. But I thought about the Hebrew children, and some of you know the story, and I'll do another live as it pertains to breaking down the 3rd chapter of the book of Daniel. And if you want to read some of what I'm talking about, you can go to the 3rd chapter of the book of Daniel, 16 down to 19. Should give you what I'm really about to talk about. I think also down a little further. But the fact that when they were cast into the fire, the one thing, the very people who were throwing them into the fire was consumed. I'm going to tell you why I'm saying these things. The very people, they got the strongest men to tie them up, bind them, and cast all 3 of them, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, into the fiery furnace. And then they turn around, and the very people who cast them into the fire was consumed themselves. And then they began to walk around in the fire. The king noticed it. Long story short, they got called out of the fire. Now, the only thing that I really want you to pay attention to is when they were in the fire, they were not bound. In other words, sometimes people will try to tie you up in some mess, but it ends up consuming them, not you. And the very thing they thought was going to have you bound in a particular situation, God will set you free from. It don't mean you're not going to be in a situation. I know we always talk about no weapon formed against you shall prosper. This was a weapon that was formed against the Hebrew children, but it didn't prosper. When it comes to you, you need to realize and recognize, don't panic. Because if you pay attention and you take God with you, you'll come out smoke free. Didn't say they wasn't going to tell the lie. Didn't say they wasn't going to get you fired. Didn't say they wasn't going to mess up your relationship. Didn't say none of that. He just said it wouldn't prosper. There are some things that you've been through in life. You came out smoke free. Now, why do I keep saying smoke free? Because there are situations and circumstances, if you look at me, you wouldn't have a thought or a clue I've been through those things. It's called smoke free. There are some things you've been through in life. People don't really know you. They don't know your story. They don't know what you had to deal with. They have no clue of what you've survived. That's because you're smoke free. They don't realize how you cried all night long. They don't realize how you were hurting. They don't realize what losses you've taken. They don't realize any of that. That's because you're smoke free. A lot of people want you to look at them as a victim. I can't. The testimony I had some years ago, I don't even really want to tell you about it. Not because I'm ashamed, but because I'm smoke free. It didn't work. And it really doesn't matter now. I see some individuals who have done things that they thought were going to hurt me and consume me. And they have to live through their own plan, their own plot. It didn't work. It came back to you. Whatever you put in this world, it's coming back to you. I don't care if it's good or bad. It's coming back. Those of you who try to do the best you can to be a blessing to as many people as you can, you hold out, because it's coming back. One way or the other, it's going to come back. Those that are out here trying to do all kind of craziness and do people wrong, it's coming back. You reap what you sow. But whatever the situation is, you want to be smoke free. I don't want to look like the situations that have took place in my life. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. I had my nights of weeping. I don't need to walk around with my head down. I don't need to find out how many people agree with me that I was done wrong. How many people agree with me that I was lied to? How many people agree with me that I shouldn't have got what I got? I don't care how many people. Because if I am getting as many people as I can to agree with me about something bad, I'm giving that power. I need people to agree with me that God is able. Agree with me that God has healed me and delivered me. Agree with me that God has blessed me to live instead of survive. Agree with me that God has got some things going forward. Agree with me that God can bless us and keep us. Agree with me that God can keep your children even outside of your sight. Agree with me that God is able to put food in your house when you don't even have any money. Agree with me that bills will be paid when the country is talking about they broke. Agree with me on something positive. Agree with me that God is able. One thing I like about the Hebrew children, they told the king, they said, let me tell you something. You can do what you want to do with this body. But if God, the God that I serve, don't deliver us from this fiery furnace you're about to put us in, we just want you to know he was able. And that's just what I stand on. There's a lot of things that I would like to see happen in my life. A lot of things I want. But I let it be known, if God don't do it, he able. I put it on record. I love my little old pickup truck. That thing is a 1990 GMC. It's still running. Seat tore up. And that's cool, and I thank God for it. Don't get in it and go to work today, Lord said the same. But I'm believing God to give me a nice truck one day. Photo truck. So that if I need some help, I can hire some people, give them a ride. See, I don't want it just for show. I want to be able to take more people with me so we can go do some more work. But check this out. If God doesn't give me that four-door pickup truck I'm looking for, that one I got gonna keep running. Because I know God is able. You got to speak like that. You got to talk like that. There are some other things that I talk with God about. I just put that one thing on record. Because if God don't do it, he able. And when he does do it, and you need to be able to speak like this, when God do what he gonna do in my life, most folks that try to ruin your blessings, try to talk about, oh, you think you all of that now, and you think this and you think that. No, I thank my God, because before I had it, I was thanking him for it. And if he don't give it to me, I know he able. Won't you have that mindset today? You want to be smoke free. Don't carry around the storms that you done been through. God bless you to survive them. He gonna deliver you from them. Man. Oh man, it's light forever. Oh, they got my green light. I get to go. So I just want to encourage somebody and let you know you can be smoke free. You don't have to look like the storms that you went through in life. You don't have to wear those things like a badge of honor. You don't have to do that. You know, a lot of people have done other people wrong and they walk around like they are permanent victims. No. God can and will keep you, deliver you, hold you, maintain you, give you everything. And he will give you the desires of your heart. Not like Santa Claus, you sit here and want something. No. God will give you a desire for something. And when he give you the desire for it, he will fulfill it. Keep in mind, there's a difference between a good idea and a God idea. I heard T.D. Jakes say this years ago. A good idea, you pay for. A God idea, he pays for. It was God's idea for me to live the life that I'm living. It was God's idea to wake me up this morning. It was God's idea to give me the transportation I had. It was God's idea to give me the ability to do the work that I do. It was God's idea. And he's paying for it. Anything that I've ever done for anybody, it was God's idea, not mine. I don't claim to know enough to do stuff on my own. I love how God lives in me. I love how God works with me. I love it. I love the life that God has given me. I wouldn't change nothing. And you can have the same thing. To live a smoke-free life. From all the smoke people try to put in your life. Look at the atmosphere. The world is sitting there talking about forest fires that's everywhere else. And you couldn't hardly see the sun. But the sun still shines in spite of all the smoke in the atmosphere. They say some of the smoke is about to start to drop down toward the ground. That's fine. But the smoke didn't stop us from making it. So don't let the smoke that other people try to put in your life stop you, hinder you, hold you. Get up. Keep moving. You can make it. You really can. Just wanted to spend a little time with you this morning. Wanted to serve God. God is good. Take your time and enjoy your day. Oh, and incidentally, I don't own the rights to the music that you hear in the background. But I do own the rights to give God praise and thanks for it.
I told him I went through storms, through rain.
Amen.
I had heartaches, sure enough I had some pain, but it was no